What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie have, the last few years, have had a tumultuous interaction with one another, especially with the adopted kids turning on Brad Pitt and saying some egregious things about him. I feel bad for the guy. He seems like a nice guy, very successful producer and actor. And to hear, some of those things that have been levied against him, which I feel those things are untrue, many of them, it's disheartening because it can never be proven, right? And Angelina Jolie, who is, really successful also as an actress, they've had also business assets together. Now, I want to talk about this because a lot of guys in the manosphere and in American society today, marriage is on the decline for reasons like this. It's not because of love, okay? It's not because, men don't want to have long-term relationships, but it's the things that can come out. Like what happened with Dr. Dre, what happened with this. And what's happening now? They had a really good business, okay? Owning a winery together. And the name of the brand is called Chateau Merveille. It's a French wine estate. And so it seems like it's doing pretty good. Now, according to Brad Pitt, he worked really hard investing his sweat equity in his solo financial investments. And they were equal partners in the business. But what happened was, before either one of them sold their stake, they had to get approval from the other person first. All right. Now, what happened was Jolie used legal means to sell her stake to a third-party competitor, which is owned by a Russian vodka billionaire, Yuri Shefler. And Pitt didn't want that to be sold there because they're trying to take over his business. He doesn't like that particular person. All right. But so what he's doing right now is he's suing her. And she completed a sale without getting his approval. All right. Now, I want to talk about this, guys. If you're going to marry anybody, really got to understand this. If you're going to marry anybody, and they had $50 million in revenue in 2021, so it's no small business. Understand a few things. Number one, you need to keep your business assets as separate as possible. Might be difficult. All right. But if you're already rich, you should do that. Going into business together and stuff like that, I don't know how that works, but you see what the problems are. All right. So now the business that you both own together, and that's the thing. What if you own the business with somebody and you hate them? And that's what I'm trying to say. How about you just sell it and just go, I don't know. For me, it's too much stress and too much hassle. So now you have to take all that money to sue her, prove that you sued her, and all of this. It's still messy as hell after 2016. And I want to look at this and say, hey, this is why a lot of times before guys get married, you need to have your investments and things already set up. Like maybe you shouldn't go into business with your wife. I know some people it's okay for them, but if you break up, here's what's happening. It's your money you worked hard for. And she sells half the business to your competitor, which means that they're now are able to control the business and have ideas in the business where you or her might have had an agreement on how it runs. Now you can't do that anymore. Now you have a new business partner that you don't know about. It's like the NFL or NBA leagues. Before a new owner can be brought into the league, they have to vote on it. You can have the money to buy an NFL franchise, don't mean you're gonna get it. Everybody has to approve you. Same thing with the NBA. But imagine you being a business partner with somebody that you don't like and you don't really like their business. And then somebody decides that for you. Just think about that. And I really want to look at, as far as, as men in general, have your shit together as much as possible before you meet any woman. You look at the guys, and I understand these are extreme examples. Bill Gates has done it. Zuckerberg has done it. And I know business partners is also, it's hard working with them. But for God's sake, if you have a business partner with a woman who now hates you, who despises you, who you can't get along with, it's bad enough that you feel some kind of way that y'all are divorced. Now she's ruining your life. And it would have never happened if you would have never invested in her. Would have never happened. There should have been some sort of agreement, you know? Think about that. Hey, like if we divorce, we'll sell the company. But I mean, it's hard to sell a company that's making you $50 million in revenue in a year. I just want to talk about having businesses, okay? Because I mean, many of us work, and I'm just now getting in the knowledge of how it works. Because I operate a small studio that produces content. So I'm very involved in the day-to-day activities of the business. But let's just say, for example, if I had a winery or a business like that, or a farm, something that produces or manufactures things. And the beauty about those things is that if you got a good market and people buy, you don't have to be there. It's an amazing asset. Like the work that, I mean, if you guys, any of you guys own like real estate, like shout out to brother Gabe A. Gabe A owns a lot of real estate in the Detroit area. Now, what's good about that? He makes an investment. He continues to make the investment. Somebody buys it from him or rents his house. He has a property manager and guys like that, and he doesn't worry about it anymore. Those are powerful assets to have. You know, I was at the country club the other day. The guy owns it. He's never there. And it just makes money, and he has a system built around it. It's an amazing thing. Like a business, and I'm talking about a business that has employees, especially if it's specialized. It's one of the sweetest things to have in the world if it's profitable. It's an amazing asset. It's a cash producing, income producing machine. All that you got to do is just sit back once it's already developed and take the money. So I can see why you're fighting over that for sure. And I know somebody's going to say, well, you still have your half of the business, but still doesn't mean that, you know, he should have had the right to decide who's going to be the person. And I urge people that, hey, listen, if you develop businesses that you have people working for you, it's a great thing to have. But I know why he's pissed off. But if you're gonna do it, better do it with somebody who knows what the hell they're doing. And because they don't like you anymore, they're gonna renege on something. That's my argument. But guys, how do you think? What do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. Check out the first comment pin at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains the all-time high. I'm out.